Once again, the Siena Research Institute interviewed New Yorkers this year on how the economy is affecting them. Is the effects of the economy lessening, or are they increasing on the everyday lives of New Yorkers? What we found was that New Yorkers continue to worry about money. 65% of all New Yorkers continue to say they worry about money more than ever before. But there is a hint of optimism. 49%, almost 50% of New Yorkers say that they believe the economy in general is going to improve over the next year, and a majority, 53%, think that somehow, some way, their personal finances are going to improve over the next year. Good news, but still with a hint of pessimism, because both of those numbers were slightly higher a year ago. Everyday things continue to affect New Yorkers. Food, gas, and home heating oil all are serious financial concerns across the state of New York. Gas prices have increased of late, and right now 61% of New Yorkers say that the cost of gasoline poses them a somewhat or very serious hardship. Food, even greater, 70%, and home heating oil, with those cold months coming in, 73% of New Yorkers say that the cost of home heating this winter is going to pose a financial challenge for them. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Across the state of New York, New Yorkers are worried about, concerned about their job security and job future. Nearly 1/3, 32% of all New York households say that over the past 6 months, someone in the household has gotten a second job in order to help make ends meet. And about 1 in 4 New Yorkers say that someone in their household has been laid off and had their hours cut back at work. So both layoffs and hours cutbacks are affecting about 25% of all New Yorkers. And strikingly, similar number, 24% of all New Yorkers say that they personally know someone who has had their home foreclosed upon in the last year. That number is greater in New York City than it is upstate. What are New Yorkers doing about the economy? How are New Yorkers trying to cope with it? Well, there's a number of behaviors that very, very large majorities of New Yorkers say that they're engaged in. Nearly 3/4 of New Yorkers say that they're monitoring their energy use more than ever before. 76% of New Yorkers say they've cut out those impulse buys and they plan their spending very, very carefully. And 78% of New Yorkers are saying that they've cut way back on entertainment, family vacations, the fun stuff that people used to use money for a great deal. And 65% of New Yorkers, 2/3, say that they're cutting those coupons and looking for special offers more than ever before. What sort of federal policies would New Yorkers like to see enacted? Well, the number one is 65% of New Yorkers, 2/3, say it's time that Washington get its financial house in order and balance that budget. Only 11% of people are unconcerned about balancing the federal budget. Healthcare reform, New Yorkers continue to be evenly divided. 39% support repealing the healthcare reform legislation, 39% opposed. The rest just simply don't have an opinion. Healthcare reform continues to be a controversial and evenly divided issue. How about those tax cuts for folks making $250,000 a year or more? A small plurality of New Yorkers, 47%, say that they'd like to see those tax cuts eliminated for the wealthiest earners. A year ago, we asked New Yorkers, do you have a budget that you use to track your income and expenses to help you control your spending and perhaps to save a little bit of money? A year ago, only 43% of New Yorkers said they had a budget. That number is up this year. It's reached 50%. So half of all New Yorkers say that they're tracking with pencil and paper or on their computer exactly their money coming in and money going out. So this economy is getting people to concentrate more, to bear down, to plan their expenses, and to carefully track their money. Are New Yorkers saving? Well, 42% of all New Yorkers, 2/3 of the wealthiest earners, say that over the past year they've been able to save additional money beyond anything that their employer puts away for them for the retirement. Are New Yorkers more or less in debt than they were a year ago? Nearly half, 47%, and again, much more so among highest wage earners at nearly 2/3, say, you know what, I'm less in debt today than I was a year ago. So clearly it appears that New Yorkers are delaying those major purchases, cutting back on spending, and trying to do in their kitchen what they hope the federal government does, that's balance their budget.